Welcome to the Eat, Slay, Live podcast.
And we are the Loxecutioners. We'll be eating lightning and talking thunder and power bombing you right in the ear holes today.
Welcome to the Daily Grow with myself, Todd Locks, the People's Champ. Already touched the mic. Drink. I think our sponsor, CSG Tax Services. Time is ticking away on getting your taxes done. So get a hold of Shea at CSG and he'll take care of you. Also, number 11 on thinking of 115 people for buying Kindly Savage shirts today, Stacy Cooper. Now, it's ironic that that Stacy Cooper is next on the list today because Stacy Cooper does my 6 a.m. morning weightlifting group, and Stacy missed this morning. She did send me a text and said, blamed it on St. Patrick's Day. Here's an old picture of Stacy in one of my women's weightlifting groups. Stacy, this was when we did maxed out on deadlifts, and Stacy did over 300 pounds on trap bar deadlift. Very strong. Anyway, thank you, Stacy Cooper, for buying a shirt, and hopefully we'll see you at the next weightlifting session. So today I want to talk about yesterday at church at New Hope in Edwardsville. Our pastor, he was talking about everything you do your best. Do it with excellence. He said it doesn't matter what your job is, what your occupation is. If you're just flipping burgers at Burger King, if you're a doctor, if you're a janitor, if you're a bus driver, if you're a teacher, always do your best. Now, his point, because we were at church, his point is you're doing it for God. You're showing that God is working in your life. God has put you in a certain place at a certain time, and he expects you to give it your best. He gave you abilities and expects you to use those abilities. Now, if say maybe you're not a believer, you should still always try to do your best. I mean, you're repping yourself, you're repping your family, and you never know who's watching you. Like my pastor talked about yesterday, God is watching you, but you never know who is watching you. You never know what you're being primed for. What you're sowing right now, you'll be able to harvest at a later time. So say you're working a job right now that you just don't like. That doesn't mean you go in there and just kind of half-ass it. It means you go in there and you do your best. There's other employees watching you. There's people, customers and clients that are watching you. At whatever job you're at, you're learning skills that maybe will help you at whatever your ultimate career path is. I can remember my first job out of college was I worked at a place called Tire America in Alton, selling tires. Yep, there with my 4-year bachelor's degree from the illustrious Eastern Illinois University, and there I am selling tires. Now, I knew that that wasn't my dream job or not what I wanted to do in life, but let me tell you this, I took so many life skills out of that job. I don't know why this isn't focused. Focused? Good now. I took so many life skills out of that job. Just like what? Selling tires? You own a gym now. You're a trainer. What skills did you get from selling tires? Let me tell you this. If you can sell tires, you can sell freaking anything. Because everyone who would walk into that store, or at least 99%, they were mad. A tire had blown out on the road. They had a flat tire somewhere that had to be changed. They had to get towed. Everyone who walked in there was generally mad. And it's not like you're going to buy like a piece of jewelry, or you're buying a new outfit or something like that. You're going to buy tires, and nobody would want to buy those. Now, also with that job of selling tires, everyone needs tires. It doesn't matter what the demographic was. So anyone who come in there, it might be, you might be dealing with, attorneys or judges, or you might be dealing with, just I'm saying, like someone who flips burgers at Burger King. You might be talking to a janitor. You might be talking to a multimillionaire. You saw everyone who walked in there was just some sort of different demographic, and you had to try to relate to those. And I feel like that kind of skill has helped me where I'm at now. Like coming to a gym, I see so many different people, and you have to be able to relate to them. Now, At first, I didn't really try my best at that job. I knew I wasn't going to be there long. It wasn't, man, this thing, why isn't that focusing? I knew I wasn't going to be there long. So at first, I didn't try super hard. I was just putting in resumes, trying to find something else. But at that job, the more you sold, the more money you made. So I wanted to earn some extra money, earn more money. So we had a manager there. His name was Gus Gevers. Now, shout out to Gus Gevers, who's I'm Facebook friends with. He lives in California now. Now, Gus, he could sell ketchup popsicles to a woman wearing white gloves on a hot day. I swear he could. And I took so much from him, just how he would interact. He would treat every single person. He knew, like, he could read them walking in the door. And he kind of knew, like, what motivated them to be a buyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's someone who wanted, they wanted fancy looking tires or big mutters on their vehicle, or maybe someone who had a family and they cared more about the safety of them, or maybe just someone who was low on the budget, and he could always read those people and knew exactly how to sell to them. I remember he used to use this line, and people would come in there like, oh, I can get those cheaper at Walmart, and Gus's line was always, well, if you want to buy your tires where you buy your underwear, and have at it. And he would go into some sort of little safety spiel about them. I remember the first time I tried to use that, because I would watch him, I would mimic what he did, because he could just walk up to the counter, boom, sell somebody 4 tires and alignment and whatever. So I would try to watch and mimic what he did. And the first time I tried that, I'm like, someone's like, well, I could get those cheaper at Walmart. And I said, well, if you want to go tire shopping in your underwear, you can. I don't remember if I got to sell at that. But you know what? Whatever you're doing, do it your best, because you never know who's watching. I remember my next job from there came from a repeat customer that we had at that store. They came in and said they liked what I did, they liked how I sold, they liked how I presented myself, and that's how I ended up getting my next job, which is a much better job. But take pride in yourself. I know a lot of times we can kind of get complacent, even if we have a job we love and maybe we're good at it. Sometimes we can kind of get complacent at it, and we're not doing the best that we can. We're not using the abilities that God gave us. He gave us those abilities. He wants us to use them to the best of our ability. That's a lot of abilities right there. I'll tell you what, you're repping yourself, you're repping your family, your kids are watching you. And if you're just half-assing things and you're not giving it your best, they notice, and maybe that's you're setting the example for them. So I think that's just my point today. It is a Monday, and I think it's a good reminder, like, hey, no matter what you're doing, do the best with what you have, where you're at right now. And I can tell you'll feel that sense of pride. You'll feel that sense of accomplishment if you do that. Also, don't forget the How to Win Friends and Influence People, the Fight Book Club that we're having. We're going to do the first 20 pages. That is part 1. The first 20 pages of the book. So we're just basically doing part 1. We're skipping over the preface and things like that. So I have the books for the people who I promised I would buy the books for. So anyway, by Friday, we're going to have read the first part 1, and first 20 pages. Anyway, go out, whatever you're doing, whatever your job is, go out and be the freaking best you can be. It'll make you feel better. It'll make the people around you proud of you. And like I said, you never know who's watching and what opportunities it can create for you. I've got a comment on here I'm going to go to real quick. Great show and message. Well, thank you, Linda Covington. We super appreciate that. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for growing with us, and slay